18 Premier League goals, 23 goals and 52 appearances. Richard, we want to look at Dele Alli. I think you were mentioning earlier on, we know about his outrageous talent, but that maybe Tunisia might try and target him. Test the temperament.
Yeah, we've seen it in the Champions League this season when things haven't gone his way and he's lost his head, and that will be a problem. If the tournament gets tight and he gets picked on, he could be trouble. But when he's on form and when he's playing, he's outstanding. He's the one player that can come from nowhere and score the goals, the important goals. And you see here, he's nice and calm on the ball. He's waiting and picks out a perfect pass. And the understanding between himself and Harry Kane is going to be so important for England, because the team's young and they're trying to, even with Kieran Trippier in the team, it's that little Tottenham connection makes it all work. But yeah, Dele Alli's, for the last few seasons since he's gone to Tottenham, his running, his late arrival in the box has been brilliant, and he hasn't probably produced it enough for England, and certainly not in a major tournament. So again, for him to move on to the next level and become one of the top players in world football, he needs to produce it in the tournament now.
So, Liam, it's fair comment, is it, that the front of the team is better than the back of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about the ball getting to those four players. How are they going to get the ball to those four players? Stones, Richard thinks, might be the one from back to get it into the front players. I don't know. I'm not convinced of that. I think he can be careless on the ball as well as good on the ball, John Stones. Certainly Henderson is not a creative, but they haven't got a Modric, Dara. They haven't got someone to pull the strings in midfield. So those four guys, unless you get them the ball, they're not going to perform. And it's up to the others to get them the ball.
I don't know, is there somebody they kind of left behind out of that squad? There could have been the sort of classic number 8 or whatever.
Well, there's Wilshere, but he's had his injuries and he stayed injury-free for a while this season, so he will be the only one. It's just a position they haven't really got in England, and I think it's one of the, you know, that number 6 position to sit in front of the back four. If you look at the World Cup winners, if you look at Makelele, if you look at Gilberto Silva in the past, there's always been top-class players playing in their position. I think the way they are brought up in England, it's probably or possibly a position they don't really cater for. They don't put any emphasis on, and I think the test will be, because I don't think it takes an awful lot from Tunisia for England to play the ball long, because it's not in their DNA to find solutions on the floor if you get put under pressure, and that's a test, and because it's a relatively small team. If you look at the 2 wing backs, they're not the tallest. Then you've got in Lingard and Sterling, 2 not very physical players. And Harry Kane, he scores his fair share of goals with his head, but he's not a player who really likes to hold the ball up with the back to goal. So yeah, it'll be very interesting how the game sets up. But I think they have to be brave in possession, because if you don't keep the ball,
brave is a great word. Yeah. They need to be confident. They need to be brave. They need to believe in themselves. And if they do that, they should handle this Tunisian side. But if they don't, and they start making mistakes, you could revert back to lads who really don't fancy getting on the ball.
Let's let them down in recent tournaments, not being able to keep the ball. They've got to do better in that department today.